Welcome in, everyone. This is Sean with MTG808 Jr., and I am so stoked today to finally get to share with you our Patreon campaign. I've been working on setting up this Patreon campaign for a number of months now, and I am really excited to get to share it with you today, so let's jump on in. For those of you unfamiliar with what Patreon is, it is a voluntary subscription service where you choose which content creators and which projects that you want to become a supporter of. Our Patreon page is set up to accept monthly donations, so you can sign up to give $1 a month, you can sign up to give $5 a month, whatever you deem is doable for you, depending on how much you support our project or how much you believe in it. And we've got some goals that we're working towards. So here on the left of the Patreon page, you can see the goals that we're working towards. Once we hit $100 a month, we're going to start giving away art from local card artist or altar artist, Mary Steele. This is her Facebook page right here. She's done a lot of land altars incorporating Pokemon or cartoon characters into her art. Right, she also does full art extensions of cards, and she actually designed our logo for MTG808 Jr. So she's a very talented artist, has donated her art and her time to the kids that we work with, very large supporter, so we would love to start giving away art pieces from her Basic Land series. So once we reach $100 a month, we're going to start raffling off that art. So become a patron today. Over here on the right is our list of perks that you'll get for becoming a contributor. You'll get some perks once you reach $1 or more, but the really, really sweet perk starts at $10 a month. So if you become a donor and give us pledge to give $10 each month, you will get your name on one of these sweet, sweet plaques here. Boom. These are beautiful plaques. Just got finished. Handiwork of Nick Hunsinger, my longtime friend and local artist and magic enthusiast. And these plaques are absolutely beautiful. We're going to have one in Dirtle Zone, one in DePlanet, and one at Westside Comics here on the island. If you want your name on this plaque for everyone in your local game store to see, please consider becoming a patron. We're gonna get your name up there and have these plaques hanging in these 3 local game stores. So once again, please consider becoming a patron and checking out the rest of our Patreon page. But now I want to kind of pivot into just giving you a rundown of what it is that we do. For people unfamiliar with the project, the majority of what we do kind of rests in running these youth Magic tournaments. We've been playing Standard Pauper, started back in January 2017, so just a few months in, and really growing the youth Magic community here on the island, providing support for the kids that are interested in the game and who want to play. But just running the tournaments isn't enough, right? Just advertising it, some kids might come, some kids might not. The key is really making sure that they feel supported, not only in learning the game, but in preparing for these tournaments. So that brings me to these 3 fine gentlemen here. We've got Kele Sensei, Kumuluka, and Mr. Espina. These are the 3 Magic Club coaches who I first started working with. And these gentlemen all open up their classrooms to their students after school, provide a safe place for the kids to come and play, just nerd out with each other, make friends, right? Teach each other how to play, and also prepare for these tournaments that we're putting on. So nothing we do would be possible without these fine gentlemen, and we do as much as we can to try to help support them, whether it's coordinating field trips, going into their classes to help teach kids how to play, getting these guys common cards for the kids to build Standard Pauper decks. Right? We want to make these teachers feel supported. I've worked in education my whole life. Teachers are always super stressed, so I want to make sure that the teachers that we're working with feel taken care of. So that's a huge part of what we do, supporting the kids at school, running these tournaments. Here, this is a post of one of the events that we just put on for Kumuluka's group over at Kavaihona. We brought in Magic pro player and YouTuber Travis Wu to help us do an intro to Magic Day, and then taught all the kids how to play with those 30 card starter decks. So just a little snippet of what it looks like when we're on the ground in these school clubs. So a little bit of the why of why we started this project. This project is very near and dear to my heart because of this. I think this picture kind of sums it up. So This tournament series, called the JSS, or the Junior Super Series, was effectively a junior nationals tournament that Wizards ran for 9 years. Back when I was in junior high and high school, this tournament was going on, and the fact that this tournament existed was a huge part of the reason why competitive Magic became my passion, right? It's still a passion that I carry with me today. And this tournament took place in 2005. I was fortunate enough to come in fourth place in this tournament, and this was my third year playing in this event. So for the 3 years leading up to this tournament, I set a goal for myself. I wanted to qualify for and do well in this tournament. I wanted to do my best. I wanted to prove myself amongst my peers, right? This was a 16 and under youth tournament. So because the junior nationals existed, I was able to have all of these amazing experiences, right? I set this goal for myself. I studied, I play tested, I networked, I made friends, I went to the card shop and just grinded games with anyone that would be willing to play with me, right? I was so committed to accomplishing this goal, and it paid off. I was fortunate enough to walk away with $6,500 in scholarship money after 3 years of playing on the JSS. So, all of these amazing opportunities were opened up to me because of junior nationals, and I want the next generation of Magic players to have similar opportunities. So that's a huge part of why I'm doing this project. I want to see the project grow locally, obviously, to see how big we can grow on the island of Oahu, but I also want to encourage anyone out there on the internet, in the global Magic community, to consider moving towards similar goals, right? If Wizards isn't going to run a junior nationals tournament, we can try to build it from the ground up. And so part of the work that we do is helping our local community directly, but also part of the work that we do is networking with people abroad to help them support the youth in their local communities. So that's junior nationals for you. The JSS, big part of what we do. We want to try to bring it back, do what we can to bring it back. So part of the way that we are moving towards this goal is facilitating this Facebook page, right? Just helps us get our message out there. Managing the Facebook page really allows us to communicate with parents, communicate with students, when the tournaments are, right? Provide coverage for the tournaments, pictures, results. Anything that we've worked on is going to be pumped through this Facebook page. So please check out our Facebook page if you haven't already. Another big part of what we do takes place over here at YouTube. So MTG808 Junior on YouTube, and we post all sorts of content up on YouTube. So the first type of content that we post is just content about the standard Pauper format, right? A kid learns how to play Magic, they like the game, they're thinking about starting tournaments. My number one recommendation for all of them is look at the decks that have been successful and copy them, right? The game of Magic is so complex that trying to build a competitive deck from scratch, some kids really like that, but my recommendation to them is to find a deck that has been proven. We've been creating content of the decks that have been doing well at our tournaments and publishing them, getting that content out there for people wanting to get into the format to check out. So content on the standard Pauper metagame. We also have just kind of next level content. This video, for example, is how to use the Gatherer, right? If a kid wants to start building their own decks, start looking up cards, start looking at the metagame as bigger picture, they have to know how to use the Gatherer, which is Wizards' search engine for every Magic card ever created. So these are tools that we're trying to introduce the kids to, get them familiar with it, and tools ultimately to, not this picture, to support the teachers, right? The teachers don't need to know everything about Magic to support these kids, as long as they know that they can point the kids to these YouTube channels. The last type of content that we've been pumping out through the YouTube channel, here we have my presentation that I gave at GP Vegas over the summer. And I was fortunate enough to go to the Grand Prix to present at the judge conference and share the work that I've been doing with people all over the country, right? I got some good ideas going to this conference, got to present, made interesting connections, and that's part of the mission of the project, to share what we've found out with other people and to get feedback. Okay, so that's the content that we've been creating, the networking that we've been doing, tools for teachers to use to teach their kids, as well as deck techs and the standard pauper metagame. So check out our YouTube channel, check out our Facebook page, and please consider becoming a patron. You can win some sweet magic card art, and you can get your name on one of these sweet plaques, which are going to be hanging in these 3 local game stores that have agreed to support the project. So yeah, I've spoken enough already. Check out the Patreon page, and please consider becoming a donor. Thanks for stopping by, and I will catch you at our next tournament. Peace.